Behind this door is my epic home studio for 2024. Let's go. So welcome to my home studio for 2024 and beyond. As you can see, it's quite a small office. This is what I'm working with. So I'm going to show you what I've done with this space and how you can do the same thing with a limited amount of space in your home. You don't have to have a huge room and tons of space to have a really good setup, and I'm going to show you that. So over in this side of the room, as you come in, you can see it's not a particularly big room, even with a fairly wide angle lens. This is just a Govee light that I put up. This is a hex light. These are panels that essentially you can design them how you want. You get a pack of them and you're going to stick them to the wall in whatever way you want. They don't have to go in this sequence, and they just literally just stick to the wall. They're really good. I've just created this pattern for it, and then the plug just goes down the side. It's all controlled on your phone. I've got Govee lighting throughout the room. You don't have to have Govee. There's other brands, but I really like them. And this is my vision board. So this is everything that I want to achieve and what I really want. This is just a picture of my beautiful wife, who's kindly filming for me, so I have to say nice things. But this is just a picture of my wife, just to remind me how lucky I am. Then this is New York City, this is Manhattan, and this is a very particular building in Brooklyn Heights, which one day I would love to own an apartment in. Me and my wife love New York. We got engaged over there. It's just my dream to be able to live there one day. So everything on my vision board is something I really want in the future. This is what I'm striving and working towards. This is a resort in Barbados, a really exclusive 5-star resort. Again, dream one day. I would love to go there just to experience it. And then this one I've already accomplished. At the beginning of 2023, I got my motorcycle license and I got this beautiful bike here. This was on my vision board for the last year and a half. So I've managed to accomplish at least one of them so far, so I'm happy with that. So I need to replace this one, but yeah, this is just a vision board just to keep me focused on what I want to achieve in the future. Then over here, you've got Superman, keeping an eye on the whole studio, making sure everything's up to code and everything's looking good. But this is just pretty much my Marvel Geek Fest area. So I've got my Superman and Batman at the top, watching over everything. Statue of Liberty again, we love New York. Superman watching over everything, and then we've got sort of my Avengers memorabilia. Down the bottom is my limited edition Infinity Saga box set, and then just some Avengers stuff. Then up here we've got a whiteboard, which I write on a lot, but this has got all of my goals and everything, and I write down some ideas on here, and I come in here most mornings and I will look at some ideas I've written the night before and then scrub them off before I go to bed. This is a quote I leave up here, and it's for my goals going forward by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't quit and I don't compromise. There is no plan B. Plan B is to succeed at plan A. If ever you're worried about anything or you've got any goals you want to achieve, live by that.
I'll be back. Yeah. Stick around.
Right, so let's go here. This is just, I don't really know what to do with this at the moment. This was a display cabinet, but now it's just a sort of tool shed area where I just keep all my tools in it. This is the brand new Elgato prompter, which I'm going to be making a video on very soon. It's amazing. This is the brand new Elgato prompter. It lives here because I have the attachment on my camera. My camera goes on my desktop setup, and all I do is just slide it on when I want it. I just grab it from here, slide it onto my camera, and plug it in at the back. It's got a little USB-C cable at the back. You just plug it in, good to go, and it's amazing. It basically works as an external monitor as well, and obviously a teleprompter. But I'll be doing a video on that very soon. Then this big thing that's in the way, this is a newer light. This is the only main softbox light I have in the studio. And I just turn this on here at the switch, which I've wrapped around just to make it easy so I haven't got to bend down every time. But the switch is right here, I'll just turn that on. And now there are better options out there. This one is just a bulb and it just emits a white light. There are LED versions you can get where you can change it to a warm light or a white light. But this one's all right. It's about £50, $60, something like that, off of Amazon. It's pretty good. It does the job I want it to do, and it works well. It casts a good light on me when I'm doing videos and stuff, so that's fine. We're going to look at the stuff that I've got here. So this is a shelf unit that I've got from Amazon. Again, it's about $50, $60, not expensive. I just found this on Amazon through searching for it. And I think in some of my other videos, my older ones, you had my old like display cabinets there, the big white ones. And the issue with those was they were these big white cabinets that were standing out against a black background, and they just sort of took too much attention away from the main subject, being me making those videos. So you want something in the background that's going to have a bit of create a nice little scene and look nice, but not be too sharp and too punchy and too in your face. You want it to be subtle. So that's why I got this shelf. It's a nice dark wood. It's got a light here, plant, my wife's crystals and stuff. And then I've got all my self-help books, which I'm working through. The latest one being Feel Good Productivity from Ali Abdaal, which I'm yet to read. I'm currently reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's new book. Absolutely incredible. I'd highly recommend it. And then at the bottom are my thriller books I like to read, just if I get the time. And I like Jack Reacher books by Lee Child. They're really good. But that's the shelving unit. It just sits in the background. It creates a nice ambient look. And I've got a radiator here, which I don't like. I want to paint it. That needs to be painted black because I keep trying my best to cover it up. And if you're really good at seeing, in some of my videos, I put things over it to try and cover it up a bit, but I'm going to paint that black eventually. Then you can see I've got some Govee lights here. Again, they just create a bit of a scene. All of the Govee lighting is controlled on my phone, so they just create a nice little scene and contrast in the background. Right, so then I've got a nice little plant here. His name's Herman. He lives in a corner of the room. He oxygenates the room and apparently relieves stress, although I'm yet to see proof of that. And then this is a tall standing Govee light here, which you probably can't see. Might have to come a bit closer. Got a tall standing Govee light there, which just creates a nice light, backdrop light on the plant in the background. This is my chair. This is going to be replaced soon. I've had this chair for a good few years. This it's all right, but I want a ergonomic sort of chair that's good for your back, one that's lighter, one that's good for your spine and all that kind of stuff. This is a bit cold in the winter and it's a bit big and chunky. I want to get something that's a bit smaller, and you can see it's starting to fray a little bit there over use. So going to be getting rid of this soon. Going to be getting a new ergonomic chair. Right, now before we get onto the main event, let's talk about the desk. Now this desk is something very simple. This is 2 IKEA drawers right here. These just an IKEA drawer set, very simple to put together. One there, one this end. And then this big wooden worktop is a solid piece of laminate, which is a kitchen worktop. This is not a desk setup. This is a custom made build which I've done. And I've seen loads of people do it. It's really, really good. And that's what inspired me to do it. So IKEA drawers, and then you get a big slab of laminate. This one I think is 2 meters long or something like that, and it's really thick. This one is the concrete effect, so it's a nice dark grey with a little concrete effect on it, and it looks really good. Right, so now this is the heart of the setup. This is the Alienware, I think it's the R13 main PC build. It's obviously a pre-built build. It's got an GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. It's got a 12th gen i9 processor, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, although as you can see it's the green sticks that come with it, so I'm going to be replacing that at some point with 64 gigs of RGB RAM. That's what I'm going to upgrade that to. So the RGB thing you can see here flashing with Ava Media written on it, that is a 4K capture card that I plug my PlayStation 5 into. That's not in this room right now, that's in another room. But when I plug my PlayStation 5 in, it normally sits right here next to the PC, and I plug it into the capture card, and that's how I'm able to stream and record PlayStation 5 footage in 4K. So it's a pretty good setup. It needs a couple of upgrades to it. Needs new fans and new RGB RAM, but otherwise it's set. It can do everything I need it to do. I can play games in it in high ultra settings. I can record videos and render videos really quickly and edit them in DaVinci Resolve and Photoshop and everything. It handles everything perfectly, doesn't ever overheat. It's really good, and render times are pretty good as well. So the boom arm I've got here, my main microphone you'll see in most of my videos, this is the Deity V07U condenser microphone. It's a podcast microphone, which means it needs to be fairly close to you in order to work properly. This all comes as part of the set if you get it. I'll leave a link below for this, but essentially you get the microphone, a USB-C cable, and you get the boom arm itself, which doubles up as a headphone stand. There's a little clip at the bottom where you can put your headphones on. It's a really good mic, I highly recommend it. And that leads me into my headphones. My headphones are the Rode NTH 100s. These are absolutely fantastic. They're good for absolutely everything. They're good for watching movies. They're good for editing videos and editing audio footage. They're good for playing video games. They're just so good for pretty much anything you want to do. They're comfortable. You can wear them for hours. They fit with your ears nicely. They're not in any way uncomfortable even after hours of use. They're fairly flexible as well. These are wired though, so if you want wireless headphones, these aren't for you, but they have a really good twist motion where it won't come out. So basically if one of your kids come in, which tends to happen a lot, and they yank it, it won't come out. I've done a full review on this, so I won't go too much into it, but these are brilliant. Right, so my peripherals is I've completed the Alienware theme here. I've got an Alienware keyboard and an Alienware mouse. I can't remember the model numbers for these, but I'll leave that in the description for you. Now, these are really, really good. Good for gaming, good for productivity, good for pretty much everything. My only issue with it is where we're in the UK, this is an American layout keyboard. So for me, what I'm used to, my keys are all in the wrong place. So my pound sign, my @ symbol, my hashtag button is all in the wrong place. So when I press a button that's supposed to be something else, it's actually the hashtag button. That's my only issue with it. I don't believe you can get one as in a UK format. If I can, someone let me know in the comments. But I don't think you can. But I love it. It's really good, other than those issues. But it's minor issues. It's a wired keyboard. The mouse, it does work wirelessly, but I like to use it wired, so I just don't forget to recharge the battery really. And then my monitors. Now this, my main monitor, is a LG GN850p. Now the GN850p is a 144 Hz refresh rate display, but can be overclocked to 160 Hz. So all you have to do is go into the settings, maximize it, and it will work at 160 Hz. Now this is a nano IPS panel. It's an ultra wide quad HD display. It's good, and I thought this would be a monitor I'd be using all the time, but I've discovered that even when I'm in video editing in DaVinci Resolve, I don't use all the screen real estate. I don't use it all. I end up minimizing the window and having it in sort of a 16:9 aspect ratio and editing in that. So this is a 1440p monitor and it's not OLED. So I've always wanted an OLED panel. And if you've seen one of my recent videos at CES 2024, they've released a brand new Alienware. It's not Alienware, it's a Samsung panel, but Alienware have adopted it and made it their own. And it's a 32-inch 4K OLED panel with a 240 Hz display. It's my end game monitor, and I'm probably going to be replacing this with that. This is still very good. It's a really good monitor, and I thought 34 inches would be perfect for me, but it turns out it's slightly too big. So I can get a 32-inch here and bring these monitors in. Now, my monitors on the side are Alienware monitors. These are full HD LED panels. They are 240 Hz display monitors, which means that they are optimized for gaming, but I don't really tend to game on these. I just use them for sort of emails and YouTube Studio and Discord and other bits and bobs. I don't really use them. This is my main working display. These are sort of flanking displays. Now the model number for this is a AW2521HFLA. That is the model number for these. They're really good. They're really good display monitors. If you want to use it as a primary monitor, that's great. For me, it's just a flanking monitor, but it does the job. It's probably overkill for a flanking monitor, to be honest, but it does what I want it to. And then all this up here, you can see these are panels that I got off of Amazon. I just wanted to get textured panels that I could stick to the walls, and I got these off Amazon. You literally just super glue them. It comes in a pack of 30 or 40 for $30, $40, something like that. And you just super glue them to the wall, match them up as you want them. And then this is another Govee light that goes around the outside. And it just looks really good. My monitors are wall mounted. My cable management at the back is okay. It could be better, could be a lot better. I've made some mistakes along the way, but it's out of sight when you're sort of in the room and when you're gaming and working. So it's not over the top. Now here, this is where my camera goes. So all of my videos, you'll see my talking head videos, I screw my camera onto the top of this. And then this is a dummy battery. So this is plugged directly into the mains. I then plug the dummy battery in, and then I will plug this HDMI cable, which is plugged into the computer, into my camera. And then I can stream with it. I can record videos from it. I can do pretty much everything. And then if I want to do vertical footage or record anything on my phone, this is just a phone stand that sits here, and you just put your phone in there and you can record vertical footage as well. This is just a charging station from Anker. It's a MagSafe charging station. You can just put your phone on there and it will just charge your phone nicely, and it has this nice little heads-up display. Now when I'm gaming, I will pull up my chat there and I'll have my chat on this, and I can just literally sit there with my phone charging whilst gaming, just glance down, I've got my chat available to watch. So that's really cool. It can also charge your earbuds. If you've got the AirPods or anything like that, you can put them in there. And then my speakers are the Logitech Z200s. They're good, but I don't tend to use them that much. I tend to use my headphones 90% of the time for pretty much everything I do, because I'm either making videos, editing videos, watching content, or I'm gaming. All of those things I use my headphones for. It's very rare I'm using the speakers. Soundproofing. So I've got these soundproof panels. Again, they're just pieces of foam. But soundproofing in your studio is quite important, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of echo and reverb. Now you can combat this by putting in things like furniture, for one. It still does have a little bit of echo and reverb. I can hear when I'm talking quite loud, but essentially I've got a carpet here on the floor, which I've just put in. That's really nice on your feet, super cozy, super nice and warm, just rub your feet on. Then I've got, this is my charger that I charge all my batteries on. I have 2 at a time charging, and I just whack them in there to charge. The cable's not that long, so it has to kind of sit there. And again, it's just another little charger here. This is where you're going to see some of my cables sticking out, but it's just a little power bank here that I use to charge that. And then I've got Alexa in here as well. And then also I have here my 3 books that I write in daily. They always sit at the end of the desk. If you want to know more about these, then I'll leave that video somewhere up here for you to click on. And you can learn how to be productive and how to stay successful in 2024 by staying focused and driven. So this is my main base of operations for 2024 and beyond. There are going to be some changes that go on. I might end up getting a new keyboard and mouse. I'm going to get my new endgame monitor soon. There's some new bits and bobs that I'm going to be adding to the studio, and it's always going to be ever evolving. I eventually want to grow out of this office, and my wife can take this over, and I will expand into a bigger space. That's my long-term vision. But for 2024, this is living proof that you don't have to have some big, massive office in order to have a really cool setup. So this is my setup. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see my endgame monitor that I'm getting very, very soon, then click the video somewhere up in the corner.